Hello, beautiful people of the world and all the interwebs, YouTube, and wherever this might reach. How goes there? Here in the farm, as you can perhaps appreciate here, the rat is back together, and I'm pretty happy. I gotta put the chrome valve covers on and change the wheels. Finally got these adapters. That was my last resort. I really hunted up and down for some steels that would clear the offset. Excuse me, for the steering arm here. My bad. You can see here. These rims obviously stick out, so you can't appreciate what I'm talking about. But when you have the original steely, it doesn't clear because this axle is actually from a 50 something Chevrolet pickup. So that's another story, right? The original wheels that came with that truck were the Widowmaker 2-piece 8-luggers, and they had a. Now that I'm finding out throughout this whole ordeal, they have a really particular offset. So I couldn't find any cool, cheap wheels that would clear and make it work. So I ended up getting those spacers, which I hadn't gotten some smaller spacers that didn't work. And I'm gonna run the steels, which I still gotta sandblast and paint white. These are dirty, but they're actually in perfect condition, except the pinstripe's a little worn out. But the white's pretty popping, so I might just leave them, not repaint them. I don't know, maybe I will. I gotta rewire the lights, or not rewire them, but reconnect them because I had to snip them. Just because wherever I put the connector, it was gonna be more of a bitch, so I'm just gonna rerun that. Also, because when I was doing the engine, I was kind of just in a angry mode because I had destroyed the other block. I don't know if you've seen that I had it together already, and then I had to take it apart, which I had to anyway. But I just gonna have to rewire all that, which is not hard. It should be quick. And yeah, because I just gotta go from the block, that little there's a junction block, and just gotta run it through here, which reminds me, just gives me a chance to make it look cooler, I guess, right? Anyway, I have a dilemma kind of with these wires, because if you see these, I got a bunch of these boxes from a customer, because I don't know, he does shipping related shit, and he got a bunch of these XL racing wires, right? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, XL or XL, or I don't know. Anyway, these are the 8.0s, right? Excuse me. And I have some supposed to be better ones, which are these. Right? I think they're 8 point something. Let me see what the wire says on top. Yeah, 8.8, and then they're supposed to be way sicker, 8.8 core and this and that, right? But man, I really like the yellow look. So I don't know. I might just keep those for a project later. I have a whole Chevy Ford distributor there. What I mean is that it's a HEI, but it has the gear for a Ford big block, and that's how we do it. And I was pretty Well, I wasn't upset. I was more like it was funny, but then it got annoying because this guy's from a forum on Facebook for Big Block Ford. We're talking all sorts of shit to me because I was running a one wire Chevy alternator and a in an HEI. Like I shared my, oh look, I have a Ford Big Block. Fuck yeah! And they're like, no, you fucking son of a bitch, take that shit off. They got all aggravated, and I'm like, you know, it's a stupid mentality to have because the one number key thing to all these vehicles, or if you're a hot rodder or whatever, is to make them better or faster, right? You're gonna find a bunch of Chevy cars with 9-inch Ford differentials, and you know, whatever else other Ford shit people use. And then also you're gonna find a bunch of Ford shit with Chevy 350 engines and LS swaps and one wire alternators and HEIs because I know how to wire a door spark, and I had a door spark in that RV with a blue grommet that you need to make it run. Yeah, I know all about that. People that think they're the shit. Like that's the first thing I did on that Galaxy when we first got it running with this engine. I had it with the door spark and shit like that. But first of all, it's a dirty installation no matter how you slice it. Why? Because there's at least 10 wires going to the box, and then you just have to run a bunch of shit, and then you're running, it needs to run also to the starter solenoid and a bunch of shit, And with this, you just simplify it as one wire, and it runs better. Sorry. Just is what it is, you can't get all Henry for it. It's a shame to view on me and shit, because, well, first, I don't care. And second, well, I think me not caring is enough, right? And here, well, I gotta clean this right now. I think I'm gonna alligator these little side panels because I have enough fabric. Again, with the 60s, like radical freak look, And then I'm gonna run the emergency brake cable through here, and I'm gonna use this handle that somebody did some stupid shit to it and painted it all this red, but I'm gonna sandblast it. Hopefully I can get the chrome or whatever color that tip was, and then we're gonna install it right here around yay, because this is a reinforcement through the back, so it's gonna be definitely stiff enough. I'm just gonna make it where it clears the floor, and then I'm gonna drill a hole through here and then run the emergency brake cable shit. And I gotta do all that before I make this little panel that I can make with wood here, so I can alligator this, and then I'm gonna alligator the rest of this bottom part. Damn, this little clip's important. That's for this trim. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I paint these letters white? Right now it looks all, you can see all the dust, but I gotta clean it anyway. Like I said, all this is just hell of a dusty. Just imagine the whole floor nice and clean like back here. Anyway, it's the fucking problem with living in the desert. I get free sand to sandblast. I was talking to my friend, lives like in Oregon, and he says I'm lucky because they don't have sand like that over there. I live right next to a sand dune, so I just gotta sift a little bit of sand and boom, sandblasting without spending that much, But also, everything gets full of fucking sand, so we got the Dust Bowl environment going on over here. Yeah, so that goes there, and then those clips, like the one I just found there, goes here. And that there is the progress on this thing. I gotta put the wheels on it. I was gonna run those spikes that I bought that are on it, but they're not gonna work because those spacers, I don't sell them with 1/2x20 thread. I looked all over the place. They're gonna sell them with metric thread, which sucks because I already had a set of these spikes for the truck, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna put them on that bomb, because that bomb has 1/2x20s, and it also has the nuts that are the ones that you require for that spacer that take no. They're the stock ones that take like hardly any space. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, they're just like the little acorns. They're not like the big studs like the other one has. So just gotta switch them. Hopefully the skirts fucking clear the spikes. This thing's running. It's just I haven't had any time to do anything else. But if you want to check out how I built it, you gotta just Google 1952 Pontiac rat rod frame swap or some shit like that. Problem is that my old account, for some personal problems, I was never able to recover access to it, and I had to restart years later. But 10 years ago, I was frame swapping. This is actually sitting on a G-body frame, and it's all done up, and the engine base all painted, and the what's interesting is that I put an Oldsmobile engine, so it's an Oldsmobile frame, and then I sold that engine to build that one 52 Chevy rat rod I built, and then just through like destiny, I got this really cheap engine and transmission from my Oldsmobile that runs and drives. So I bought it for like $200 and put it in here, and it runs good. The carburetor's shit though, but it runs. You know, the engine and everything's good. It has this aluminum radiator that I put, and 12-volt system from everything. You know, gauges inside. I put the seat for my Astro van. It actually fits perfectly. And just because the customer had it laying outside his house, I'm like, can I have that seat? But I have the original seats, front and rear. And these back seats are not actually, those aren't from in here. They're from a 56 Mercury. Can I just put them in there? I have all the original shit, but it's like really jacked up. Like it's technically just the springs. And they're pretty jacked up themselves, you know. I still gotta do a bunch of little shit. But I don't even know why I slammed it like that. It doesn't even close right. I don't have the actual latch things installed on it at the present moment. That's pretty much what's going on here. I gotta start working on that bodywork for that bed. Oh, also this is like kind of cool. I went yesterday to pick up this seat. I don't know if I made a video about it, but it was all brown and jacked the fuck up. Excuse me, French. Yeah, it was from 78 K10 that I used to have. That's also on my old YouTube channel. If you Google or YouTube search 1978 K10 La Maldita or some shit like that, I come out and it has like military tires and a fucking machete hanging from the side. It's pretty wild. And that truck, I put bucket seats, like racing bucket seats, which now I'm pretty angry that somebody fucked up this floor to put some modern bucket seats. But anyway, long story short, I kept the seat around for all those like 11 years, and now that I need it for this fucking 75, I have it. And that guy did a marvelous job of it. I mean, and he charged me $160, yo. That's like nothing. That's how much they were gonna charge me across the border. And I told him, like, dude, you know, what's up? And then he, I guess, you know, pandemic times, he needs money. I'm like, I have the 180. And he's like, nah, 160 is fine. But I ended up still paying him 180 because he recovered this dashboard, which I'm gonna get a bunch of flack for it. Like, why not get the original? Blah blah blah. But somebody had already jacked this dashboard up. I don't know if you see the old videos from this truck when I first got it. It's basically the same thing, but in gray carpet, and they ripped off all the foam and everything from the dashboard and the trim and everything. And since it's really expensive to even find one, I told the guy, nah, we'll just do it in black. You know, do it in black felt, like like it was. It was in gray felt, but now it's in black felt, and there it is. Pretty sexy. And this guy that did this job to put the seats did a terrible job. He like fucked it all up. So I gotta cover some holes. I think he used like an axe to make some fucking holes. I don't know. Let me see if I can show you. Somewhere back here. Like, I don't know. I guess you can't see it too well. I gotta take them off, but be posted on how it's gonna look. It's gonna be terrible. They welded this shit here on there and made all these random holes. So obviously the original holes are these, but I'll cover all that up. It's not too bad. It's just somebody went trigger happy here with the fucking floor, but it's hella solid. Everything, like, it's not missing, no rust, holes, nothing. This bitch is beautiful. Yeah, so pretty much it's just that little hole repair. I have a fucking gotta do a little panel work on the other side where it has a little bit of a rust. That's the only spot in the whole truck, and it's just because the drain was plugged, and but that's easy fix. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. My uncle died of COVID. Rest in peace. And he left me that car. And I think I'm gonna just cut the fucking shell off of it, and use because it runs good and everything, the rolling assembly to like put like a 50s panel wagon or old school bus or something cool where it just runs, and I'll chop it up, make it like chopped up and shit, have them lift forever. Something, right? Maybe not.